Okay, good morning learners. Today we're going to look at the concept of leveling survey. As you understand or as you know that leveling survey is essential in civil, construction and land survey. Maybe to determine different elevation between points. This is the concepts that may be used to determine the kind of leveling survey to be undertaken or to be done. To start with, number one, we are going to look at the purpose of leveling survey. Number two, types that are being used, all types of leveling survey. Number three, we deal with instruments or equipment used in leveling survey. Number four, we are going to look at the basic procedures that are going to be used. Number five, we have leveling methods. Number six, we have correction and errors. Number seven, we have benchmark and control points. Number eight, we have data recording and processing. And lastly, we have application of the survey. To start with, we have different and extra purposes of leveling survey. If we can start with, we can look at the determination of elevations. Why do we need the survey? That's whereby we determine elevations, we establish grades and control points. Set up benchmarks for future construction and mapping. That is what we call control points. These control points are used to be like features whereby you can use either today or the other day, future, as well as establish grades, maybe in designing of roadways, railway lines, and drainage system. Determination of elevations. This is whereby elevation of a specific point relative to reference points are determined. Point number two, it's all about types of leveling. We have different types of leveling. Number one, we have differential leveling. Number two, we have geometric leveling. Number three, we have barometric leveling, and lastly we have hydrostatic leveling. With your friends in a group of two, maybe three, we can make it much. You can discuss or describe the different types of leveling, that is differential leveling, geometric, barometric and hydrostatic. You can use like 1 to 2 minutes to discuss on that. I think you can have them 1 minute so that I can give you the point of my view. Okay, thank you and good trial and very good for the responses that you have given. I think if you can see my screen, we have the maybe a shallow explanation of the types of leveling. I think you can follow up with me as we look at it. Differential leveling measures the vertical distance between 2 points using a leveling instrument and leveling staff. This is where vertical distances are being determined. We have geometric leveling, a more precise form of differential leveling that uses more sophisticated instrument and methods. Barometric leveling estimates elevation changes based on atmospheric pressure variations, though less accurate than geometric method. Hydrostatic leveling uses the principle of fluid pressure to measure differences in elevation, typically in specialized application. I think what you discussed maybe are almost the same or the same as my point. We can do an extra research on that at our own times, as well as when we are free. Let's move to point number 3, that is instruments used. Here are some instruments. I don't think they are all, but mine are 3. These are the instruments used in leveling. We have leveling instruments, auto level or dumpy level. This dumpy level provides a horizontal line to sight to measure vertical differences. We have a leveling staff. This is a rod, is a graduated rod placed in different points to measure the height difference from the instrument. We have the theodolite for advanced leveling, measures angles and can be used in conjunction with the leveling for more detailed survey. I think, as you can see, these are the equipments that are being used, all the instruments. We go to point number 4, the basic procedures. These are the procedures that to be followed. Step number 1, we have to set up. This is whereby the instrument is stable to the tripod and perfectly horizontal. Number 2 is the readings. After setting the machines or the instruments, you take the readings, the staff reading and various points of recorded data over a given area. Then number 3, lastly, we do calculations. After you have taken the readings, the values that you have read, all the values that you have noted down, you are going to compute it in different elevation based on the staff reading and the instrument's height. As well, you can use different methods in calculations. Number 5, we have leveling methods. Leveling methods, these are the methods that may be used in measurement in the height of different points. Number 1, we have a direct leveling. It involves direct measurement of the height difference between points. Trigonometric leveling uses the principle of trigonometry to calculate the elevation based on angles and distances. I think we have the two, since the direct leveling is mostly used, since it's easier for the maybe the starting people, those who are yet to leveling, they can be more versatile to direct leveling. Trigonometry needs some skills and an extra other parts. Number 6, we have corrections and errors. This is whereby after taking the reading, you have taken your calculations, then after you have to see if your elevations or your values are correct or have some errors. So there are some different things to consider. Number 1, we have instrumental error. It needs calibration to correct inaccuracies due to imperfection in the instrument. This is the error that is done or that occurs when using instruments. Number 2, we have refraction error. Adjusts are made for the bending of light in the atmosphere. This is like maybe the sun obstructs your readings, maybe visionary. And then we have curvature of the earth. For long distances, adjustment may be necessary to account the earth's curvature. I think as we started, I think you can know benchmarks and control points. You can take 1 minute, you discuss on the two. On the two, we have benchmark and temporary benchmark. Just take your time, discuss on that, have a shallow or a small definition of it as we continue to the second two last parts. Thank you and good congratulations for that good definitions. As you can see my screen, you can view the definition of benchmark. It's a fixed point of a known elevation used as a reference in leveling surveys. Temporary points established by the duration of a project and used for local leveling. Temporary benchmarks are not permanent, as we can see the benchmarks are, so they are part of it. It's a temporal mark that is made so that you can take your survey or your leveling survey accurately. We have data recording and processing. We have field notes and leveling book. Field notes details record of measurements and observation during the survey. And leveling book, a formal document where all data corrections and calculations are systematically recorded. And finally, we talk of applications. We have in construction, mapping, land development. This is where the land survey is being applied. We have in construction, mapping, and development. Thank you for your time, and it has come to an end of our session today, and good time. All the best.